Hello team, it is week 2, road to Busselton. I promised that I would make this one shorter and ongoing, so away we go. I've got a set format. So here we go, how am I feeling? This week, 7 to an 8, so probably more of an 8. At the end of week 2, you would think that things are starting to get more layered. And you're starting to introduce some of that expected fatigue and compound fatigue as well. Training distances. Okay, swim this week was 10k. Bike 347. Remember that includes lots of commuting. And the run was 44. So that was mainly 2 long runs. There was only one short. It was about 4k, and then the balance, obviously 40 amongst 2 long runs. My weight this week, last week was 81 to 83 and I said 82. So this week, as we're layering in some of the fatigue and the heavier work, 82 to 84 and a half. So I'm going to say 83 on that one. Remember that through your week in this type of training, it will move in a window, your weight. Things I learnt about the training. The first one was try not to get mentally faked out when you're looking at a session. And in particular, in my case, you will most likely get the whole week in front of you, and sometimes you can fake yourself out. You'll be surprised that your body can deliver more than you think. So the best case is to back your body, get into it, and just take each part of the session as it comes. What I learned also this week is the fueling and general eating through the week, as we're starting to layer things on, and longer sessions and so forth, and a little bit more intensity. The eating through the week is going well. What I've been particularly worried about is going into overtraining, and of course losing too much weight, and it just is a downward spiral, and you will have issues. Been there before, so definitely looking to fuel as best as possible to stay out of that overtraining situation. So this week was a challenging week because I was working the afternoon evening shift, and of course most of your days are 2 sessions. So that means everything is a brick, or as normal people would say, you got to do both sessions before work. So with riding everywhere and not driving, as I'm challenging myself to do, it means preparing for that amount of time and fueling before you start your work after doing your 2 sessions. So the good news is this week I'm working days, so that should mean that there is more of a recovery opportunity in between the sessions. There's a bit more space. So I'm expecting to go through this one well, in having better recovery outcomes. Injuries and niggles, still none, so I'm very happy about that. But before I headed out for my long run this morning, I banged my shin against the table, and that took a bit of quiet breathing and rubbing it, and off we went. So that wasn't cool, but anyway, that happens. Achievements and failures. Okay, I spoke last week about the trainer session, which I think was on the Thursday, quite possibly, could have been Friday, but anyway, it had 2 15-minute threshold efforts, and whenever you see threshold, it does have an opportunity to fake you out. So I did back myself, and I did make it. I did hit the numbers required, the power numbers, so I was very happy with that. So that's an achievement. Now, up in Townsville, we actually didn't have all 5 days or 7 days with no rain. We actually had rain on Monday and Tuesday. So because of that, the Tuesday speed group session, which is very much absolutely hammering it, that didn't happen. So I did my own trainer session, and that was quite a good one. So Another achievement was my Saturday ride yesterday, which was 3 hours. I wanted to average more than 160 watts, and there was quite a lot of bonus free wind out there, which absolutely, you're doing 37 to 40 kilometers an hour in one direction, turn and go back the other way, and you're struggling to hit 27 kilometers an hour. So on average of 161, I was very happy with that. I also had some very good swim effort pacing through the week on those higher efforts, so I was very happy with that too. And the fail this week was that because we worked Saturday, so yesterday, I wasn't, the timing didn't work out that after my 3 hour ride, I was meant to run for an hour. And that just probably would have pushed it a little bit too far. So we're starting a project pretty much this week, and that's going to go for the next 4 weeks. So it is expected that we will be working Saturdays. So that's not the whole day. I believe it's going to be shared between the shifts. So let's see how that plays out. More on that in a moment. Equipment and maintenance. Now, last week I said I think I said I did 2 chains. Well, I didn't really explain that well. What I meant was for my hill climbing road bike with clip-ons, and for my commuter bike, those are the 2 bikes that I did a full clean and lubrication service on the chain. So they go through a multi-clean process, and then of course lubricated. I'm using an oil system like most people do, but I'd love to go to wax, but haven't done that yet. The race bike chain is probably going to be due this coming weekend. So we'll see how we go on that one, but I'm pretty sure that one's due. So probably coming up. Big and scary sessions coming up will be on Tuesday. Now, as I was saying, it's likely no rain forecast, so it'll be turn up for that group to hang on to take you within an inch of your life type situation. And I hope that I'm able to perform as part of the group and also not get dropped. That would be really good. So it's hang on for that whole session. Now, admittedly, the hard stuff's just short of 30 kilometres. Then that's pretty much done, and you can go and do your own thing or go and do coffee. The other thing is in the training week ahead on Tuesday, there's a 90-minute trainer session, which looks quite challenging as well that night. So I'm getting a double tap on the bike situation, which admittedly is the area that I would like to improve the most. But looking at those 2 sessions on the Tuesday, that will be the big ask. So it's certainly bring a good amount of steel to both of those. You sort of have to when you're in a group ride, because it's happening right there and then, and there's nowhere to get off. You have to disappear out of the group. Friday, there's also, in a situation on Friday, there's a trainer session, which I'm going to try and do in the morning. And then, of course, there's the Saturday session, which will be a 3.5 hour ride and then a 90-minute run off the bike. So that clearly, mathematically, is 5 hours of work on Saturday. So not sure how we're going to do that. We'll just see if Saturday work is going to happen and what my hours will be. Sunday, we have a swim and a run just like today. So we may have to do some shuffling, talk to the coach. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. So in closing, if you want to actually follow my sessions and have a look at the data in them, send me a message and I will link you to my Garmin. So Garmin's the only place that I do the sessions, and then it goes through to Training Peaks. So if you want to be able to look at it, comment on them and the rest of it, then send me a message. All right, see you next week, which will be the end of week 3. Now, I'm also guessing that the end of week 3, then it will be a recovery week, or it might be 4 weeks and then a recovery week. So we'll see. Yeah, all the best and have a good week yourself. Bye now.